The Sokoto Caliphate, also known as the Fulani Empire, was a Muslim political and religious kingdom that flourished in West Africa in the 19th century. The empire was founded by Fulani Islamic scholar Usman Fodio, who was part of the Muslim reformers of the Hausa states who did not perceive their rulers to be faithful adherents of Islam.
But this is only one chapter in a story that spans centuries. For over 1,000 years, Islam has shaped Africa's destiny, crossing deserts, rivers, and seas to reach nearly every corner of the continent. Its arrival was not through force, but through trade, scholarship, and the exchange of ideas. Arab and Berber merchants carried the message of Islam across the Sahara, forging links between North and West Africa. Along the Swahili Coast, the Indian Ocean trade routes connected Africa to the broader Islamic world, blending Islamic values with local cultures to create thriving city-states like Mombasa, Kilwa, and Zanzibar. Islam's influence can be seen in the monumental legacies of great empires. Islam's history in Africa is not one of isolation or marginalization, but of profound connection, adaptation, and agency. For centuries, African Muslims have actively shaped a global faith, weaving their own contributions into the tapestry of the Ummah. From trade and scholarship to governance and spirituality, Africa has been at the heart of Islam's growth and evolution, offering lessons in resilience and innovation.
There is nothing you may ask for that we will not give.
Lion of Judah, I don't know where to begin.
You have our friendship. Begin there.
Certain runaway slaves have escaped from us into your kingdom.
Slaves go back, as you no doubt would
The
return our
relationship
slaves
between
to
Africa
us.
and Islam began early in the faith's history when the Christian kingdom of Aksum provided sanctuary to some of the Prophet Muhammad's peace be upon him followers. This act of refuge set the stage for centuries of exchange between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. By the 8th century, Islam had spread across North Africa, the Sahel, and East Africa through dynamic networks of trade, scholarship, and pilgrimage. Far from being passive recipients, African Muslims actively engaged with Islamic principles, integrating them into their societies while forging connections with the broader Islamic world. For much of modern history, Islam in Africa was framed by colonial narratives as a derivative or localized phenomenon. The term Islam noir, coined by French colonial administrators, relegated African Islam to the margins, portraying it as distinct and inferior to the so-called pure Islam of the Arab world. However, these narratives ignored the rich intellectual and cultural contributions of African Muslims. From the libraries of Timbuktu to the Swahili Coast vibrant ports, African scholars and merchants were integral to the global flow of Islamic knowledge and trade, maintaining a dialogue with centers of learning like Cairo, Mecca, and Baghdad. Trade routes such as the Trans-Saharan caravans and Indian Ocean were not just conduits for goods, but also for ideas. African merchants facilitated the exchange of Islamic teachings across continents, while scholars brought back theological, legal, and mystical insights. Manuscripts from West and East Africa reveal a thriving intellectual culture, where local scholars not only absorbed global ideas, but also contributed to Islamic jurisprudence, theology, and Sufism. Islam in Africa has always been a living tradition, evolving to meet local realities while maintaining its global connections. During the colonial period, European powers sought to control Islam in Africa by isolating it from the global Ummah. Yet, African Muslims resisted these efforts, reaffirming their place within the broader Islamic world through pilgrimages, reform movements, and intellectual exchanges. Leaders, scholars, and merchants continue to engage with the ideas and movements shaping Islam globally, ensuring that Africa's voice remained central to the discourse. Today, Islam in Africa continues to thrive as a dynamic force. Advances in technology, such as satellite television and the internet, have accelerated the flow of Islamic knowledge, while traditional practices like oral recitation and Sufi rituals endure. African scholars and communities remain active participants in the global Ummah, balancing modernity with the enduring principles of their faith. The story of Islam in Africa is not one of marginalization, but of profound interconnectedness. By reclaiming its legacy as a center of trade, scholarship, and spirituality, we honor Africa's vital contributions to the Islamic world, a legacy that continues to inspire and evolve. This duality, a faith deeply rooted in local contexts yet profoundly global, defines the enduring significance of Islam in Africa. By reclaiming its legacy as a center of trade, scholarship, and spirituality, we honor Africa's vital contributions to the Islamic world, a legacy that continues to inspire and evolve. This duality, a faith deeply rooted in local contexts yet profoundly global, defines the enduring significance of Islam in Africa.